The Glass House is rated M for a mature audience. It contains coarse language, sex references, adult themes, and material that may offend some viewers.
Ahead in the Glass House, the treasurer who would be king.
Mr. Costello, the other day the Prime Minister repeated his statement that if he went under a bus, you'd be Prime Minister.
And we want that. That's a good thing.
You're not even pretending anymore, are you?
Let's do it.
We all know you're a Republican. Do you fancy yourself as Australia's first president?
Don't think about your custard tart until you've eaten your meat pie.
Really? You're going to eat the Prime Minister? Matthew Flinder's birthday. Welcome to the Glass House, the program that asks the question, why hasn't someone tried to combine St Patrick's Day with the annual Mullumbimby harvest? So we can have a day where celebrating the green is actually worthwhile. More news than a treasurer who wouldn't shout if a shark bit him this week. But one of the big stories comes from the world of medicine. Australian police and chemists have come up with a new plan to stop crooks buying large quantities of cold and flu tablets and turning them into cheap bathtub speed. Cheap bathtub speed. Chemists are actually going to start hiding the cold and flu tabs in their shops. The new rules are in response to a marked increase in bikie sniffles, which can apparently be treated with several hundred packets of Sudafed. So what I want to know is, how do you buy so many cold and flu tablets? Did you disguise it somehow? Yeah, mate, can I get 50 packets of tissues, 200 deodorants, 87 tubes of KY, a gross of condoms, and 500 packets of Codral. I'm having a big weekend. From the world of sexual health, a scientist in India has invented a condom that's not only a contraceptive, but also plays a tune that gets louder as the sex gets more vigorous. Not surprisingly, a lot of women prefer the 12-inch mix. The most popular condom tunes are the Hoodoo Gurus' Miss Free Love, Twist and Shout by the Beatles, The Fifth Dimension's Up, Up and Away in My Beautiful Balloon, the Bee Gees' How Deep Is Your Love, How Much Is That Doggy in the Window, and Come On Eileen. Congrats!
Motion Picture News, Cecil B. DeWill. In a bid to tap into the Christian market, Disney is going to promote its new adaptation of The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe as Passion of the Christ for kids. Not the Christian part, just the bloodthirsty violence and Jew baiting. And they've hired a PR company to make sure the God botherers are happy with the movie's content. No Christians were fed to the lion during filming. A film about a group of children staying at a strange man's house who find a secret passage that leads to a land of adventure and danger. Is this The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe or the Michael Jackson trial? After the success of Passion of the Christ, more and more films are playing to the Christian market. Disney is even repackaging some of its classics. Snow White and the Seven Deadly Sins, The Lion King of the Jews, Pope Nocio. Not a lot happens in that, just a lot of dribbling. Pontius Pilate of the Caribbean, Altar Boy Story, Dorella, which is like Cinderella but without the sin, and my favourite, Peter Rabbit Hates Lesbians.
I'm angry this week. Very. You know what's made me angry?
What?
Cyclone Ingrid has made me angry. First off, don't like the name. Ingrid? Ingrid should be giving you a massage, then jumping in the spa with you, right? Cyclone Ireland should have a good bogan name like they used to, like Tracy. I mean, Tracy, you'd expect to whip your roof off and tip over your ute, all right? You'd expect that from Tracy, not Ingrid. And also with Ingrid, come on, it doesn't know what category it wants to be. First it was category 5, then it was 4, then it was 3, then it went back to 5, now it's 4. Ingrid, you're a cyclone of the Powerball results, all right? Seriously. And the people in Northern Australia are freaking out. They're down in their bunkers. First Ingrid's coming, then she's not coming, then she's coming, then she's not coming. They're yelling out, come on, Ingrid, are you coming or not? We're not going to be down here forever. All right? Seriously. It's hit a couple of very remote areas, though. These areas were so remote, they were actually happy it turned up. They got more stuff now than they used to. But what I love is that Darwin thinks it's going to get hit. It hasn't got hit yet, but they have been rushing for supplies. True story, in Darwin, they're rushing, what the main supply they're rushing for? Alcohol. That's the spirit of the Darwin people. Like, this whole town could get obliterated again. Barry, what are we going to do? Make sure the Eskies full, mate. Good on you, Ingrid. Well done.
All right, let's get to it. Joining me, Corinne and Dave, to throw some stones in the glass house tonight, two of the stars of the 2005 Melbourne International Comedy Festival, back with his new show, Noodlemeister, Ross Noble. And performing his show, part troll in Sydney and Melbourne, the one true star of Black Books, Bill Bailey. Movers and shakers. First up, a club cricketer from Western Australia was suspended for racial vilification recently after calling an opposing player a pommy git. Whinging pommy bastard. Yeah. After the batsman complained about being called a pommy git, he abstained from showering for 3 days, drank some warm beer and swept a chimney. This is all part... Sorry, did you forget your chimney was dirty? Hang on.
It's going to get a lot worse than that, Ross.
Wait a second, yeah. I haven't paid the orphan.
This is all part of a new anti-discrimination strategy introduced to clean up the game. As a result, stumps will now be called amputees. A maiden ova will be a virginal ova of non-specific gender. And in a related story, the new ABC show Spics and Specs will now be called Mexicans, Puerto Ricos, Colombians and Specs. Bill, you're an English gentleman. Ever been vilified?
Well, just now. Well, I suppose, I mean, we don't have to go far to be vilified. We just have to go to Scotland to get vilification. A short ride across the border will English bastard, you know. Pom, I mean, I don't even know where that... it's supposedly pomegranate, was it?
Was it? Like, where does anyone know where it comes from?
It's some kind of acronym, but I'm not quite sure.
Prisoner of Mother England.
Mm. Yes. Pom.
Yeah.
Or player of marbles.
Because we are the greatest marble players in the world. You know what? You harp on about cricket and all the rest of it. If we clear the area back and just start flipping, yeah, the ladies would flock. With the glass gloves.
Well, you mean the marble groupies?
Yeah. They're mad for it, aren't they? Oh, they come down with circles on the T-shirt like that. Lie on now. I'm freaking myself out now.
Yeah. Hey, let's just hold back on the whole marble thing. But I think the thing is, the problem in Scotland is that the British, well, I say the British government, England, has tried out various unpopular tax policies and such like in Scotland. So the Scots have been used as guinea pigs for things like the privatisation of water and, you know, these kind of very unpopular, the poll tax, for example. So the Scots feel like they're the guinea pigs of Britain.
And they privatised the water.
Yeah, that's right. And
I don't want them privatising the water in England because that just gives you even less excuse to shower.
Has every flat and house got showers now in England? Is it?
No. We have communal showers. It's compulsory.
What we do is one person puts on, like, a pumice suit and then rubs themselves through a crowd. and then all the skin is gathered up at the end, and then you put that on yourself. I think the trick, though, is like this bloke with his, you know, what's he called him? Pommy Git.
Yes.
The trick is not to specify. When you're being rude to somebody, it's just pick random words and just like, you know, you purple monkey dishwasher. Just randomly, and then that person, it's an insult, but at the same time...
They don't know why.
They'll be like, oh, he's insulted me, but in a court of law, they'll just look a bit mad.
But it's not like just saying, you know, that poem is just like Aussie or Kiwi. You know, it's just, I don't feel any particular offence to, you know, I mean, the only time I remember being, I was in Indonesia and I was trying to get a flight on this little island and the bloke, I said, can I get a flight? And the bloke looked at me and he said, white English. And I thought, oh, hello, OK, fair enough. And I said, well, yes, I am. And I said, any chance of a flight? He went, white English. And I thought, OK, and I said, I admit that Britain in the past has probably treated the Indonesians very badly. The 16th century, of course, the Spice Wars, there was a lot of bloodshed. And I do apologise for that. I feel it's unfair of you to place the guilt upon my head. And then he went, no, and what he was saying was waiting list, right? He just kept going, waiting list.
Well, I think Australians can get vilified in England, that you guys think we're not that bright. You know?
No.
And I was over there, and people weren't thinking I was that bright. I remember in Scotland, Ross, you were hosting the Late and Live Club, and I'd never been on that stage before, and you told me to relax when I went out there, and I had no idea why I wouldn't relax. It was a comedy club. There should be love in the room.
And I realise now the irony of saying relax to you. Which is a bit like going to the pub. Could you be a bit religious?
Anyway, I walked on stage in Scotland. I had 200... I said 2 words and 200 people yelled out, fuck off, Aussie, fuck off. And, you know, I tried to tell them about, you know...
What did you say? English bastards?
I said, you people disgust me. And they all clapped,
Filth monkeys.
That's what I do love about the English and the Scottish, that sort of... There is a healthy level of self-loathing. Like, there is that sort of thing if you just go and you say, you're crap, and they go, good point, well, mate.
Because you just look around and go, yeah, pretty much.
It is rubbish.
It kind of must be that thing of when they sent their convicts to Australia. English people who come to Australia must just think, oh, my Lord, what were we thinking? These convicts have stolen a loaf of bread from, like, plague-ridden, disease-filled England. They've got on a boat and they've sailed into, basically, Bondi Beach. They must have just been, in contact with everyone. Just steal whatever you can and come!
Exactly. Just like, punch the first person you see this morning. Stab him in the eye with a pastry fork. Get on that boat now! It's a party!
Our next mover and shaker is Johnny Turk, who's been creating all sorts of outrage by digging up Gallipoli's Anzac Cove. Just goes to show how times have changed. Last time there were diggers at Anzac Cove, they were shot at. Yeah, tough, but fair. Strangely, now the bones and bullets they dug up have mysteriously disappeared. eBay! But come on, it's Gallipoli. You can't go more than a couple of feet without tripping over a couple of feet. This is a great opportunity for Australia. We should buy all the dirt dug up on the roadworks, bring it back here and recreate Gallipoli on the Gold Coast. Dave, Gallipoli means a great deal to Australia. Have the Turks gone too far?
Have they gone too far? No, they haven't gone anywhere. That's where they live. We went over there, and we were the ones who wanted the road. Our government said we want a road so that we can get the buses closer to the beach. So we're too lazy to walk.
No, I think you'll find we're all backpackers and we're too drunk to walk. And that's why they had to put the
because
bus
there's
in.
20,000 or 22,000 Australian New Zealanders go over there every year now.
Yeah. You don't want people walking mud into the casino, do you? Just spoil things, wouldn't it?
No. It's great. Australians are very intrepid. Everywhere I travel quite a lot around the world, but everywhere I go, the most remotest part of the world, there's always an Australian there before me, going, yeah. And I go, wow, we've got to this amazing... The Australian will pop up and go, yeah, there's a bowling alley around here.
It's true, though, isn't it?
I think that the only really bad thing about all these bones turning up, though, is the fact that there's a faint possibility we could end up with CSI Turkey.
Right. Good point.
Turkey's been a battlefield for what? 5,000 years or something, though.
It's a lot of bones.
It's pretty much all bones.
Yeah. Great place to take your dog for a walk, though.
What do you do in your backyard, though, if you buried your dog? I mean, do you not build a pool?
That would mean if you didn't build a pool.
If your dog had fought for its country.
I had a cat once that took one of the beaches in Normandy.
My chinchilla.
If they didn't build over any bones, you'd never be able to build a backyard pool in Adelaide anywhere.
That's a bit rough, Will. A bit rough. The Adelaide joke.
I did have I had a turtle that was at Dunkirk, you know, due to the aquatic nature. He was able to go up the beach and then back. Wasn't bothered. And he had to probably have to know quite a lot about the Second World War to get that guy. Yeah.
A team of turtles.
Yeah.
And they were able to walk across the channel. Exactly. On the backs of the turtles.
Yeah.
But they've got their own armour as well. They'd be very hard to grenade.
Exactly. Let's nip down to a pet shop and let's just post a turtle to Iraq. Just see what happens.
What? Iraq? Just a turtle. Just to write Iraq in paint on his back.
But then people might think, you know how you have a turtle or a tortoise and you write your own name and address? People might, like, find it at the post office, like, in Sydney, and go, blimey, this has travelled a distance. And then it would make a current affair. Ray Martin on there going, and who would have believed it? This turtle made it all the way from Iraq.
What you should do, if that did get on a current affair, then a week later post a hair, just to prove.
Nice.
By the way, I like that because the round of applause started slow, and as more people got it, built up.
It's like a tsunami of applause.
As people were flicking through their book of Aesop.
I always have that by the bed.
It's very important.
So I need a fable to get me off to sleep.
Oh, I thought you meant to get a lady in the mood.
Well, what, I mean, the marbles haven't worked. Come on. All right, then, Aesop.
Come on.
Our favourite movers and shakers this week are a group of researchers from Silicon Valley in California who are preparing to create a mouse with a brain composed entirely of human cells. Hickory dickory dock, the mouse ran up the clock. The clock struck 1, but the mouse was able to mitigate the severity of the blow due to his superior cognitive functioning. But a mouse with the brain of a human will have some problems. For starters, the average human brain is 81 times the weight of the average mouse. So mostly the mouse is going to be thinking, shit, I can't move. Ross, you're a friend to all God's creatures. Like the idea of a mouse with a human brain?
Yes, I do. I like that a lot. I know you're not really meant like science mucking around with stuff, but how cool would that be if you're the scientist that got to go, gentlemen, we are placing the brain of a human in the body of a mouse?
Why would they be talking... Sorry, why would they be talking like that, though?
Because that's exactly how... Don't you see? He sees through it, as if it were
My God!
Exactly.
You know? Fair enough, but that's how they talk, isn't it?
Yeah. The good thing about that is, like, if a mouse had a human brain, like one of the most common phobias for humans is of mice, which means you'd potentially have a creature that was scared of itself. So essentially, all the mouse would do, they go, gentlemen, we've created it, and it'd just be an animal going, like that, for quite a long time, you know? And also, and in, like, Tom and Jerry, like, Jerry would just turn around and go, can we just talk about this? You know?
If it's got a human brain, does that make it a human? Or is it still a mouse?
You have to go, what are you, a man or a mouse? And I'll go,
You know what happens?
It's like you won't be able to challenge those creatures to anything.
No.
You know, anything. Man or a mouse, and they'll just go, well, technically, both.
Would it be able to speak? Would a mouse be able to speak, do you think? Its little mouse would be able to talk?
It would just go like this. It would just go, squeak.
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 It starts sort of like...
Squeak.
I don't know whether their little tongues are capable of, like, wouldn't
Oh,
it need a
they're
human
capable.
tongue as well?
Well, all I'm saying is, if the marbles and Aesop doesn't work...
Team of mice. Actually, the mouse, I remember there was a mouse that they grew a human ear on.
Yeah.
And this, I thought, this is obviously the first stage of it. They start with the ear, then we build up to the brain. And it was very cruel because what the other mice did was fill it up with cheese and make it walk around as a buffet.
Do you think rats would be jealous?
Apparently,
rats' brains are very close to the human brains.
Yes.
they did some research recently in Cambridge University, and one of the conclusions was that rats sulk.
They sulk?
Yeah, they sulk.
Really?
For all this time, you just think rats are just hanging about, but no, apparently they're going, stupid bloody... Sulky teenage rats.
But surely...
Oh, God, I've got the plague again.
But surely, if you were forced into a maze by, like, a load of posh students in Cambridge, and when could you find your way out before we give you any dinner?
Yeah.
I'd be a bit miffed, like. Do you know what I mean? I'd be like, oh, can I just have a sandwich?
They also, I mean, that's the thing with mice. If we give them human brains, because we're forever giving mice cancer. Like, that's every week. It's like, you know, we gave mice cancer.
We give them cheese as well, though. We don't just give them cancer, and they get their advantages when they're in those experiments.
So are you suggesting that, like, there'd be quite a lot of mice just, like, gathering around and just going, should we save up and send John to Disneyland?
Later in the glass house, Peter Costello sends John Howard a very subtle message.
There has never been a better time to look for a job in Australia.
Prince Frederick shows Princess Mary his map of Denmark.
It's truly overwhelming and makes us both extremely happy.
And George W. Bush reveals the 7 little words guaranteed to strike fear into the hearts of even the bravest country.
The American people are on your side.
Some of the rogues making news this week. Bono suddenly realises that his name spelt backwards is Onob.
He's just reading it, it just says, see other side.
I reckon it might say, stop wearing them sunglasses, you look like a twat. Just all the best, Nelson Mandela.
I think he's saying, I want to go where the tables have no name cards.
I think... The B's slightly wrong there. That's from the Trading Post, and it's an advert for sunglasses, and it's just $8 or nearest offer.
Next photo, please. Princess Mary visits relatives in Tasmania.
I was going to say Tasmanian beauty meets princess.
I'm failing to understand. You come all the way over to this country with your husband and you take Amanda Vanstone as your date.
Was she just shaking somebody's hand and she accidentally summoned up the devil?
So my wedding was awesome. I hope yours to Charles is fantastic too. And a final photo, please. Free range.
I reckon inside that school there's a parents' meeting going, I'm sorry, your child's failed art. This plasticine model doesn't look anything like a human being.
What amused me about him is he's been late for court in the last few days. Late.
Yes.
I mean, what's he sitting at home in his pyjamas thinking, oh, what have I got to do today? Oh, that's right.
Oh, yeah.
I'm being tried for molesting a cancer kitty. I forgot.
You think they'd have sort of, maybe somebody, you know, PR would have said, look, you know, Michael, maybe standing in front of a school, maybe not the best. Maybe get like an owl sanctuary or something.
Owl sanctuary.
Will there be little owls?
Little owls, yeah.
All right, stop it. Steam train.
Oh, no, it's just, you just think 20 years ago, his hair caught fire in a Pepsi commercial. I bet he looks back now and thinks, oh, happy days.
Yes, it's time to award the Company Glasshouse Trophy, which this week is called. And the winner of the Edward de Bonehead Lateral Thinking Helmet is the boss of Thailand's Tourism Authority, who wants to bring overseas visitors back to the devastated region by building a tsunami theme park, complete with a virtual reality experience of the monster waves hitting. This slogan is walk along a Thai beach and be sucked off. So the trophy goes to Thailand's tourism titan. The good thing about a tsunami theme park is the rides are scary, but if you wet yourself, nobody's going to notice. Well, that's the way it is for Wednesday, March the 16th. Thank you, Bill. Thank you, Ross. And let's take a look at tomorrow's headlines. Le Monde says Paris Fashion Week ends in sub-zero temperatures. Nipples so big, models tipping over. The Herald Sun reports Turkey says no Anzac bones disturbed. Locals amazed by talking turkey. From the Courier Mail, Downer defends wiping security tapes in Corby trial. I didn't want to miss Desperate Housewives. And the Australian has Pope home after hospital stay. Denies having work done, but breasts distinctly perkier. Good night, and may your God go with you.
How would you like to win a major outdoor concert for your town with the Hilltop Hoods, She Had, End of Fashion and Catalyst on the lineup? Then enter Triple J's One Night Stand competition. Hit the Triple J website for all the details.